Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Twerton Park for this Isuzu-sponsored FA Trophy third-round clash between Bath City and Bromley. Tonight, the Romans take on the Ravens, who are the holders of this competition, in their final pre-Christmas clash. Exactly a division separates these clubs, who by a strange quirk have identical records in their league this season. Same matches won, drawn and lost, same goals scored and conceded. Bracknell Town await the winners in round 4, which will be played in mid-January. If these sides are level at 90 minutes, we will go straight to penalties, a method which knocked City out last term against Dartford. Tonight's commentary team are Bob Chester, Joe Acklam and Mark Stillman. Bromley get the game underway. It goes back to Reynolds. Goes long all the way through to Ryan Clark. Chipped over from Coleman. Looking to be kept in play from Dennis, who has got it. Flag stays down. Dennis chips one in. Clark punches it away, not convincingly. Fisher was onto the loose ball, but fortunately for City, Morton was there. FA Trophy third round tie. Greenslade throws it to Wilson near the edge of the box. Wilson shoots, curls it, and it goes wide via a slight nick off a Bromley man, and it goes behind for the match's first corner. See whether he's going to go for a deep one. No, he's gone low actually. That little routine. Smith couldn't fully connect. Ebanks, it was a firm challenge, needed to be timed correctly, and it was, and now Bromley can actually break down the right-hand side. Let's try to play across to Cheek. The pass wasn't good, as now Lines picks up midway inside the Bromley half, flipped it over the top, flag goes up, belatedly on Smith. Pressed a little from Dennis. He still manages to pick out Greenslade on the left-hand side, just inside the Bromley half. Looking at Smith down the left, he stayed onside this time, near the byline. Smith plays it back. Oh, Ebanks misses his kick, but it's run nicely for Hayfield. Save from Smith. And, well, it looked like a back pass, actually, when it went back to him via Webster, but the referee says no. But first shot on target for the Romans, Bob, and I think they were fortunate almost that Ebanks did completely miss the ball. Cope for similar entertainment tonight, maybe not so good for the heart rate, though. Here's Reigns. On an enterprising start, though, with... Oh, that's a yellow card, surely. Hayfield has been completely swiped away from Dennis. Miles off the ball. It was so late. He's checking that he's OK. He does get a yellow card. It's a yellow card in the 9th minute. Chipped over the top. Looks like it's going to curl away from Marriott, who's going to give winning chase, though. It's a little bit of pressure. In fact, he's done well. Marriott, he was held, and the referee goes back to the free kick. Bromley attacking the Bath end. It's a flick on. It's a appeal for offside. It's not been given. It looks like Webster's got the final touch. Bromley have the lead on 12 minutes. They were perhaps more distracted by the presence of Shawunmi, but Webster stole in a first-time finish. And the captain opens the scoring in this trophy tie. Bath City 0, Bromley 1.
Yeah, one of those free kicks that could find a defender, could find a forward, could find the goalkeeper. It was just flicked on a little bit, and there was Webster at the back post to score from just a few yards out. Fairly simple opportunity, and he took it well. But that's really been the City dominating the ball and having most of the play, and extending Tom Smith, the Bromley goalkeeper with the same name as a City player, to make a good save a few minutes ago. It's Webster now who puts the away side 1-0 up.
And now it's Bromley keeper Tom Smith over the ball to the right-hand side, where Fisher flicks it back inside well. And now Dennis now has a chance, and it was Arthur's, and it's gone behind for a corner. He's inside the Lines, pressed a little and forces Reigns wide. But he does well. I find Hayfield, nice little spin away from trouble from the midfield, and gets in a really tricky ball, but too close in the end to the goalkeeper.
They're from a higher division, but you could just see the slight gap in class. You've got to always remember that City aren't with Fletch.
Whiteley now cuts inside the edge of the box. Oh, he's caught Ryan Clark out. It took a bounce as he dived to his right-hand side. Corey Whiteley's a little bit fortunate with the finish. He struck it pretty well, but I'm sure that Ryan Clark will be frustrated that he was beaten from there. In the 22nd minute, Bath City 0, Bromley 2.
Yeah, sorry to be talking, Mark. I just stopped you in time. But yeah, he was on the left-hand side, just cut into the penalty area and near the corner. Got it on his right foot and shot towards the near post for him. And it took a wicked bounce. Ryan Clark dived down, and I thought he had it covered. And for some reason, it just seemed to bounce up in the air over his outstretched hands.
Here is Tom Smith of Bromley punting the ball long from the back up towards Kellen Fisher. It's flicked on, he's almost played in behind here. It's a good run from Marriott. If he can get there, he's got cheek with him, and it's short at the near post. And behind, it will be a corner.
Somebody's got to get on him a little bit more, because he sprays the ball around. There he is again.
It's Coleman, they're trying to play now through Jude Arthurs, who shoots, but way over the top of the goal. He could have stacked another one on the top there, and it still wouldn't have found the back of the net. Here's Greenslade running in towards the middle, not really having anyone coming towards him. Back out to the far side. Here is Morton. He plays it back once again. Lines. Barnsley trying to pick their opening. Outside. Morton whips it in towards the middle, but it's got away fairly comfortably by 𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗛, but only as far as Morton. Back to Greenslade, who's 30 yards from goal, trying to find a bit of space. Dribbles out towards the left-hand side. Eventually wide to Morton again. Drives the ball, deflected away by Arthurs. Barnsley wants to again force backwards, and it's a bit under hit there, and he forces Parcell to do some quick running to get beyond Cheek. Barnsley retaining possession though. Morton into the middle. It's just nothing really getting around the ball enough to get Barnsley to defend Chaka on the end of it. And drop it back once again. Morton, who's been everywhere so far this evening. Out to the far side. Chris Lines got Tom Smith ahead of him. Smith trying to come back inside, and he finds Morton 25 yards from goal in the centre of the box. Plays it out wide. Joe Rains takes a touch, looks to clip it towards that back post. Up towards Ebanks, makes the header, but saved by Tom Smith. To clear it forward, Tom Smith gets on the long ball though. Barnsley can launch an attack, plays it in behind. Another good run in behind from Ebanks. Linesman's flag is down. Will he keep it in? He does. Ebanks, the ball on the right-hand side. He's got a few in the middle. Drops it back to Rains. Looks to drive it into the middle. Almost gets in towards Wilson, but 𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗛 gets it away. Headed forwards, flicked on again by Whiteley, but Barnsley can keep the pressure on here. Lines plays a 1-2 with Hayfield. Out wide, Joe Rains, touch, whips it in towards that near post. It's a great ball, and it can't quite be diverted in by Scott Wilson. He made the run, but couldn't make the contact. City will be Dennis. Steps up, gets it over the wall. It's an absolutely brilliant strike, but an even better save by Ryan Clark. He looked destined for the top corner. The keeper plucks it out, and that is the last kick of the half. Bath City 0, Bromley 2.
What a save. That was a really good curling free kick right in the top corner, and Ryan Clark showed all his agility as a 40-year-old.
Looks like Callum Ebanks might be the man who's making way, so whether Tom Smith will remain up top and they'll go for a 3-5-2 and just try and match him up. Indeed, it is Callum Ebanks. And the second half is seconds away from getting underway. Right on cue, there we go.
Let's see if a change of formation. Dan Greenslade's immediately in the opposition half.
Yeah, wing backs, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what's needed down the wings. Get something there.
Dyer on the right hand side, inside to Morton. Bob alluded to in the first hour. I think he's had a good game again. I think he played well at Dartford. Is now jetting behind. Wilson is onside, right at the penalty area. Telling intervention though from Whiteley. It had to be. And his ball back is short on Coleman. Good interception. Wilson tried to get the second ball, but Reynolds was quicker to it. It's now down the left-hand side. Whiteley's going to try and keep it in place. Ball it back. Cheek! Oh, a sliding interception. An inspired one from Batten. Chipped over the top. Reynolds just gets a head away. Smith plays inside to Wilson. Now on the edge of the box with Hayfield. His shot is charged down, takes it well away from goal, and it goes out of play for a corner.
The City's saying corner, and that's more like it.
It's towards the near post, a woeful delivery. Headed out as far as Morton near the angle. It comes back, now it's deflected into space over the right-hand side. Drilled in from Hayfield, and it goes behind for another corner. Past halfway, Fisher made an on-rushing run. Arthurs, he's found Marriott in oceans of space down the left-hand side. Bromley got three men waiting in the middle. Marriott cuts inside, and it's charged down. Whiteley plays it forward, and a flying head away from Batten now. Greenslade midway inside his own half. A deliberate pass forward rather than just a punt upfield. It's a wasteful ball, pass. Wilson's right in the goalkeeper and scores! Ridiculous from Webster. He played it blind back towards the goalkeeper, and Scott Wilson was there perfectly. He just rolls it around the goalkeeper and then taps it into the empty net. And on 59 minutes, Bath City have a goal back. Bath City 1, Bromley 2.
Well, talk about being in total control and messing up. There were two players there. They had the ball about 22 yards from the edge of the penalty in the D, and suddenly Scott Wilson said, "Well, you're dithering. I'll just nick the ball off you," which he did. and suddenly he was in on goal in the penalty area, rounds the keeper, slots it away. It was basically, they say, look, you can have the ball on the edge of the area and we'll just let you try and put it around the keeper.
I credit to Wilson, because it's not the easiest situation. He's robbed the ball off now. Nice hit behind to Smith, and the referee's done well. He's pulled the play back because Smith wasn't going to latch on the long ball. He's got a card out. It's probably going to be a yellow. This is definitely a yellow card offence, which indeed it is. He was the captain. That's 61 minutes. It's going to make for a more entertaining spectacle now that Bar City got that goal back, but Arthurs might try and kill it off down the left. He's waiting for Marriott in the middle. It's initially blocked. Back to the edge of the area, now squared to Fisher. Fisher shot, and Clark claws it away, diving to his right, and it goes behind for a corner. Man who signed from Gillingham 3.5 years ago. Arminier, right-footed, not a very good delivery. Then cleared from Parcell, and Wilson's beaten to it. City can try and break. Oh, Morton nearly got it through. Bromley were completely exposed at the back, and now they're trying to get Hayfield away on the right-hand side. And it's hacked away from Dennis, and out of play.
Well, trying to play the ball off the back. Here's Joe Rains, once again looking behind him. Wilson makes a good run in behind 𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗏, but the referee's given a foul as Wilson had picked the ball up on the edge of the box. Absolutely apoplectic is Jerry Gill towards the fourth official, but I think the whistle had already gone, and it's the yellow card. Will be Chris Lyons, about 5 yards inside the Bromley half, far on the right-hand side. Floats that ball into the middle, just goes beyond Tom Smith, but goes away. Bar City still with the ball. Wilson tries to lift out to the far side, but it's flicked clear only as far as Morton. Morton shoots, and it's not a bad effort, you know. Morton for about 40 yards out. It looked like it was going nowhere near, but the ball dipped. It was just over the crossbar.
That was an amazing shot, and I thought it was deflected. I thought it was just a little deflection that took it over the bar. I'm surprised nobody's appealing for a corner.
Slightly larger attendance than the last time Bromley were here, 5-1-5. Bar City take it quickly, out in towards Hayfield. Looks to shoot, but that's high wide and not very handsome at all from Dan Hayfield. He's managed to get into the housing estate behind the stand. Dan Hayfield, who has gone off for Luke Spokes in midfield for Bar City. Can he find that a little bit of additional thrust they need? Bar City, the change will be Tom Smith withdrawn. He's put in a good shift himself tonight, but maybe not quite happening for him on the ball since he got rid of that luscious mallet earlier in the season. It will be Rex Mannings that replaces him up that forward line for Bar City. Bar City trying to win the ball back. It's a lovely touch around the corner from Dennis, but they lose possession. Morton has got a man ahead of him. Rex Mannings trying to run down the side. He's looking for space. A few step overs. He doesn't really know where the ball is. Gets quite fortunate with the bounce, so comes to Spokes, and his shot. It looks like it's been deflected. It has been deflected wide of the post. Bar City corner. Blast the ball long. It's a bit flat though. Bar City can win the ball back quickly. Hacked forwards by Rains, and it could be Wilson in behind, but the long legs of 𝗛𝗏𝗛𝗛𝗏 get there. He volleys the ball viciously into the stand behind the goal. It's out for a corner. Bar City with time ticking away from them. Can they find a goal here to get themselves to a penalty shootout? Chris Lyons lines up a corner. It's in towards the middle of the box. Comes up towards Morton. It's good. It's a deflection. As a man goes, I think it's Joe Rains got on the end of that, but not quite enough to get it beyond. And it's a good tackle by Spokes to get the ball backward. Greenslade playing forwards again, trying to feed the ball down the line there, Luke Spokes, but couldn't find Rex Mannings towards that tall head of Mason Bloomfield. He's beaten though by Batten. It gets away. And it's a really good touch from Spokes trying to get it forwards. His Scott Wilson tries to play Mannings in behind, but was running from a few yards further away than those Bromley defenders. They really don't look like they fancy it back there. It's not a great back pass. It's come to Greenside. He gets it back. Will it come? Mannings! 2-2! Can you believe it? Bar City have done it from 2-0 down against the holders. We are level in stoppage time.
Well, that's just amazing. And didn't Rex Mannings take it well? I mean, there's a mess up again in the penalty area. Ball comes to Rex Mannings, who fires it hard and low from about 12 yards. A little bit of an angle into the bottom corner. And yeah, 2-0 down, back to 2-2. And I think we'll be having penalties in a minute. And yeah, good substitution. I always thought Rex could do things. He got a lovely left foot. They got the ball again, City.
Joe Rains looking towards the corners of the pitch, but I don't think Rex Mannings was getting on his bike too much. Trying to close the ball down there quickly. Picked up the line. It's not a great clearance away though. Bath City can get it back. It's played it towards the middle towards Scott Wilson, and it will just about fall to him after a deflection, but it can't quite get it under his spell, and it's cleared away by Corey Whiteley. But Bromley just looks so rattled at the moment.
But who knows who can take good penalties out of this lot, because anybody can do, you know, the ones that are brave enough, give it a go. And I always believe, don't try and imitate these people who just roll in the corner. Just put it down and smash it.
And that is full-time. Bath City complete. Istan Bath. Bath City 2. Bromley 2. It was 2-0 at half-time to the visitors, but two major defensive errors. A poor back pass for the second and a mix-up between the two centre-backs for the first, allowing 2 goals from one from Scott Wilson and one from substitute Rex Mannings. But Bath City head to a penalty shootout now with their place in the FA Trophy on the line.
Bromley are going to go first. Team whose penalty shootout record, they've won 1 and lost 2. They lost the 2018 final on penalties to Brackley in a dramatic conclusion. There was a dramatic conclusion here as well. First man on over the ball is Vennings, who came on as a substitute, faces Ryan Clark, right-footed, scores comprehensively, puts it into the left corner. Good penalty. Let's see if Chris Lines can do it for Bath City. Right-footed, steps up, goalkeeper Tom Smith bounces up and down his line. Lines, shoots, scores, good penalty. Top right corner this time, the keeper went the right way, he's not going to keep that one out, and we're 1-1, 1 penalty taken each. Louis Dennis, right-footed, Clark moves left and right on his line. Dennis puts it in the exact same place as Vennings, and it's the same outcome, he scores. Scott Wilson with Bath City's second penalty, a long wait. Eyes up his options, scores! Cooley, bottom left corner. Goalkeeper again with no chance. Bromley 2, Bath City 2. Both teams have taken 2 penalties. Corey Whiteley next up. It's going to be right-footed. Whiteley scores! It's another superb penalty. All of Bromley's penalties have gone in the same place. Brian Clark's right, the top left. Luke Spokes is up next for Bath City. Bath City's third penalty. Right-footed. He waits as well. Spokes scores! Goalkeeper dives to his right and Spokes nonchalantly puts it to his left. 3-3 on penalties. Joe Acklam will take you through the remainder of it.
Is Omar Sawumni, the central defender, the rangy central defender who steps up now. Lots of approach behind the ball, and it's an absolutely emphatic penalty. Absolutely no saving that. In off the crossbar, top corner.
Yeah,
Fishback Bosch. Rex Mannings stepping up to take the penalty. The man that took this to extra time in the first place with his stoppage time equaliser. The drama of it all. He's got Tom Smith standing a few yards ahead of his line as he waits for him to put the ball on the spot and step backwards. Bath City needing to score here. 4-3 so far. Steps up and looks up. It's a brilliant penalty right into the corner of the net. Tom Smith dived the right way, but he was never getting there. 4-4.
Well, more quality penalties, and we've got one more each, then it'll be sudden death.
Forster, who steps up, makes a long walk from that halfway line. Now, no one from the Bath City team doing a Denzel Dumfries and trying to interfere with him on his way up there. Ryan Clark, he said he's not shy about coming forward. The fact that he was the his Elino Martinez was his understudy. We saw his opponents, the heroics, twice in the World Cup. Can he save for Bath City now? Stepping up, it's over the bar! That is an absolutely dreadful penalty from Harry Forster, high into the sky, and Bath City now with the chance to win it, 4-4.
Right, who's taking it? Who's got the? Is it Dan Greenslade?
Greenslade.
Oh, all the pressure on him now. Yeah, that was a poor penalty.
Greenslade steps up. Tom Smith does what he can to put him off in that grey shirt in the goal. But one penalty to send Bath City through to the next round in the most unlikely of comebacks. Greenslade scores! And Bath City have done it! 5-4 on penalties. The most unlikely of comebacks is completed. Istan Bath, Dan Greenslade. Bath City are through to the next round of the FA Trophy.
Well, City have clutched victory from withdrawals of defeat, and what a fantastic turnaround. Who would have thought that? They looked dead and buried with an hour of the game gone, but then a mistake in the Bromley defence, and Scott Wilson slotted the ball home. And then in injury time, Rex Mannings, after another mistake in the Bromley defence, made it 2-2, and then we get to penalties, and City win the penalty shootout 5-4, with Dan Greenslade getting the winner. An absolute amazing turnaround, plus money in the bank for the club as well, with prize money. So that will do Jerry Gillett and all the players putting in really good spirits for the game against Chippenham on Boxing Day. Yeah, what an amazing turnaround. And the fans who turn up, the 551 fans, mostly will be from Bath. There will be one or two Bromley fans. They will be elated by this result.
That was, as you say, dead and buried at half-time. Jerry Gill said, call an ambulance, but not for me. Bath City progressed. The holders dumped out at the third round stage. But it just looked absolutely dejected there, Bromley. They went to pieces at the end of the game. Two entirely unforced errors have seen Bath City get it all the way back from 2-0 down against higher league opposition. And on a penalty shootout, it was Dan Greenslade, the hero. It's it from us on Bath City Radio. Thank you, Rob Chester and Mark Stillman and Joe Acklam. And we will be with you on Boxing Day.